welcome back to Young and Unscripted. Today we have a really exciting guest on. We have an award-winning writer, presenter, actor, and so much more. Ashley Joseph, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. That's a big intro.
Yeah, because you've done so much. It's definitely worth it. It's an honour to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's I'm a bit nervous now.
No, don't be. So firstly, can we just start by talking about how you got into the industry? What was that creative passion? Where did that come from?
Yeah, two things really. I wasn't really aware of what acting was, to be honest. I used to like pretending to be different characters and stuff like my favourite superheroes. But one thing, my big sister was doing a play at school and she asked me to help her learn lines.
Yeah.
And so that kind of gave me an insight. And then there was a show that I'm hoping some people remember called The Real McCoy, which was the first ever Black British comedy sketch show. And I remember seeing performers on that show going, oh my gosh, they look like me. And what they were doing just made sense, especially this one actor comedian called Marcus Powell. And I was like, boom.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I don't know how you do it, but that's what I want to do. And I was about 8 years old. And that's when my first love of performing kicked in. And then started doing lots of summer schools. I'm from East London and they had a free summer schools program. So all the drama summer schools, all the dance summer schools, I just go to and just do. Because my mum wanted us at the house. She's like, 6 weeks holidays, go and do something.
Yeah, that was like me.
yeah.
I was always going off to summer schools.
Go to a club. Yeah.
So was comedy then what got you into it, if that was your biggest inspiration when you started?
Do you know what? People said I had natural funny bones.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of time I got like comedy characters and stuff to play. Okay. But actually the two things that got me into it was Theatre Royal Stratford East. So I joined the youth theatre. I was about 12 years old when I joined there. And then the dance company Boy Blue, I met a guy called Kenrick, who's the artistic director, who did this sick freestyle one day. And he was like, I bet you can't do that. Because I was very much like, I'm an actor. That's what I do. Like, I don't dance. Yeah. And then this freestyle was insane. So I went home and said to my sister, can you put on that same song? Learn all the moves. Went back the next day, showed him the moves. And then he was like, right, you need to dance. And I was like, I'll try it for summer. And I was there for 10, 11 years. Yeah, so they were the two things, Boy Blue and Theatre Royal Stratford East, that just launched like me going down this road and just meeting people along the way who was like, you can do this. You can do this for a living.
Yeah, so do you feel like having a mentor in that way is really important in the industry?
It's so important. Like, I think you've probably heard, like, if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer of that because I got to see people on TV that was just around Theatre Royal Stratford East. Mm-hmm. And I just hang around a box office, had nothing to do. And then sooner or later they felt sorry for me because I couldn't afford the tickets. They just let me go in and watch the show.
Yeah.
And meeting people that just started mentoring me, talking to me, so many different people. Roger Griffiths, my Auntie Jo Martin, Auntie Jo Melville, they're all like uncles and aunts to me now. And I'm blessed to be able to just call these people up and go, yo, I need some advice. And we need that, like that lineage, that succession is so important in our industry. Because if not, if you come from, I came from a home where there was no performers.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
And I feel like as well, for a lot of parents, when you're like, I'm going into the arts, they're like, oh my gosh, that's scary. What does that mean? How can I support you? So then having people in the industry who can be like, oh no, well, this is what we do. And this showing more plan and structure, I feel like that helps people to understand that there is a route for it and you can do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I was really fortunate with my mum because she said, look, if you can do what you love for a living and work for yourself, then definitely do it. She had no understanding of what it was going to be, but the best way she could support us, she did, whether that was come to the shows, you know, or I'm too tired to come to the show, but all the best, good luck, did you win? You know, all of that vibe.
And did you go through the traditional route of doing drama for GCSE, A-level, and then studying it at drama school, or was there a different route that you went?
No, I did GCSE, I did A-level, got A's, in case anyone wants to say, I got A's, proper things, drama and theatre A-level studies.
That's what I did as well.
The proper thing, where the written exam is hard. It's hard.
I'm married, so I got full marks in my drama portfolio.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's not competition. It's not competition.
I just thought, because you said the A's, I thought I'd just bring.
Right, you just let that for the people to know. You put me back in my place. Yeah. Okay, you're the guest. I did that. I applied for drama school. I was very set on going, and I think this was probably not the best mindset at the time, but I was like, I'm going Central. I'm not applying anywhere else. I want to go Central School of Speech and Drama. Applied from 5,000, got down to 30.
Wow.
They only take 16 on the course. My drama teacher at the time, my A-level drama teacher, said something really interesting to me that I didn't believe at the time, but she was right. She said, you're going to go to that final audition for the 30. There's going to be you and another black boy, and I'm telling you, it's out of you and him. And literally out of that 30, there was me and another black guy who's actually become my friend now. He got in, I didn't. Yeah. And then my drama teacher was like, okay, well, you can apply next year to Central. I was like, next year? I was like, you man only get one chance with me. I'm not going back next year. I'm going to make this work myself. And so that summer, I just grafted. I got opportunities. I got a job presenting for MTV Base.
Wow.
Yeah, that was lucky from just being around people and picking up presenting as well. And then I started doing theatre and education. So I was doing theatre and education shows, Theatre Peckham, which you know really well. That was one of my first professional contracts there. I did a Christmas show there. So I was just going around chatting to anyone who let me get an audition. And so, yeah. And I remember by the time it hit 2006, showing my age, I got a part in a play, a hip hop drama. I was playing the lead. And the guy who's playing my best friend had just graduated from Central.
Wow.
And it was so interesting that, we both were there. And so I say that to say there's no best route. You know, there's just what suits you best. You know, I guess he went and done uni and I went and done an apprenticeship at the time. Technically, it just wasn't there. I done a paid apprenticeship and I had no student debt. So I was very happy about that.
University of life.
Yeah, that was my journey. And I think it's helped me because I'm always learning. I'm always going into spaces wanting to learn. What can I absorb from this?
Well, a lot of people, like you've just said, it's about who you know in this industry, not what you know. So how, for a lot of people and a lot of our viewers watching this, they hear this phrase, but they're like, well, how do I find these people? How do I get into the room? So how was that journey for you? And what advice would you give for people who are wanting to get into the rooms to meet those people? Yeah,
I would say, and this is something that me and my friend would speak about, who's an actor as well. And we've done a lot of comedy and double act work together. A lot of people look up to where they want to be. Yeah. And so a lot of people forget to look around and look next to you. That person that's in your class, they might also be creating video content. Can you make a reel? Do you know what I mean? Google is a wonderful example. You can just, if you made your own show reel, you could Google agents in London and send that to an agent you like. Don't trigger happy and just be like gunfire, every agent. Yeah. Look at the websites. What agency looks like they're going to work for you? Like, think about that. Don't just send it to everyone. The other thing is your local theatres. Get to them local theatres, man. Not just to see the work. Go and chat to people. I used to go and hang out in the box office at Theatre Royal Stratford. Yeah. And at some point, someone told me, come in and audition.
Wow.
You just hang around long enough. Yeah. Or just chat to friends that, like my friend had an agent. And I was just like, man, I'm not getting no jobs. And I'm trying to get other stuff going on and happening. And one day he had an audition and he phoned me and went, look, I've been to this audition. I don't really think it's for me. I think they're looking for someone like you who's a actor who can dance and rap. Yeah. And so I just went down there. I think take a punt. Take a punt sometimes. If you know something's happening, try and get in contact with that person or the casting director or just go down and go, look, I heard you're auditioning today. I don't have a slot. Here's my CV. Would they see me? Yeah. I did that and I got the job. You know what I mean? So that's the advice I would give to people. Don't think about what the industry can do for you. Think about what can you do within the industry.
Yes.
Like, what can I do? How can I change the narrative? What am I in control of? Yeah. Rather than everyone's waiting for someone to call them and go, yeah, you got that Netflix job.
Right.
It's not going to happen like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Build them stepping stones. So that would be my advice. And through my experience, this is what I've done. This is how I found my place and space in rooms and helped build my name and brand.
Yeah. And with those jobs that you're trying to get at the very start of your career, do you think, I feel like there's a big debate about whether you're not selling out, but you know when there are these jobs that are given to you and you're at the start and you just want to do everything and anything because you're trying to build your CV, but where do you cross that line in your own personal experience? Where have you maybe crossed that line where you're like, actually, I need to build my CV, but I don't want to be a part of that show that doesn't really represent what I'm about and what I'm trying to do? And where do you go, okay, maybe it's not my favourite thing, but it's going to help me build my CV, so let me just do it?
So I think there's two answers to that. One is, depends on the length of the contract. Right. Like, I'll be real. When I first started auditioning for adverts and commercials, I was like, what is this rubbish? Yeah. I'm an actor. I'm serious. Yeah. Then I was thinking about it going, hold on, I can work for 2 days and you're going to give me a buyout of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Because even if I don't necessarily agree with everything, like it might not be a character I really want to play, sometimes you got to look at what do I have to do so I can do what I want to do. If I go and do that job and it gives me a big buyout, now it gives me time as a writer to go and write something I want to write or invest and get some money into my own projects. Yeah. So there's that side of it. The other side I always think of is that if you're doing theatre, especially, even TV as well, because that can be, it can be a lot on your head. If at the end of the night, when you're going home and you're laying your head down and you can't sleep and you're stressing and you're thinking, why am I doing this role and stuff, and your integrity, you shouldn't be doing that job.
Right.
And for me, I always think about what is my integrity, what is my level of anxiety around something. Because sometimes there's, I don't want to say good anxiety, but there's good like pressure or good nerves around how am I going to figure out this character? How am I going to approach this? I've never done something like this before, which is great. But if there's like, I don't believe in this goes against who I am, then you shouldn't be playing that role. And sometimes it's hard because there's the other side that people will not always speak about, is that you need to make money.
Yeah. And it's hard in this industry.
You need to make, it's hard to generate an income. Like it's hard to, I feel that the more I'm looking at my life, I feel very, very blessed that I've been able to achieve the things I've achieved in being a full-time creative. Yeah. So sometimes you got to just be like, as a Jamaican would say, money off a meek, you know, you've got to make that money at times. So it's a very tricky one. I think if something's going to give you experience, you got to ask yourself as well, where's it going to go? That's the other thing. Because you could do something that could be like, this is a low-key thing, no one's going to see, I'm going to get my money, get my experience and get out of there. Yeah. I love theatre and education. I would advise so many people to go and do tours where you're touring schools, prisons, pupil referral units, because they're some of the hardest audiences. Yeah. Them lot ain't paid. Them lot have been forced to be there. And if you can hold that audience, then West End ain't going to be a problem. But I'll say, go and do that, man. Like, go and do the hard graft. Do that labor. Like, do it. It will shape you as an actor, man.
And I feel like also that must be so rewarding to go into those spaces where maybe they don't want to watch you. And then at the end, they're like, oh, that was so cool.
It is.
Let me get involved. Let me try and do that.
Yeah. And they chat to you as if you're the character.
Oh,
you know,
that, yeah.
So when like a lot of the stuff I was doing was playing characters from the ends, so to speak. Right. And I was very happy doing that because one of the things I didn't want to do is play characters that always perpetuated gang culture and kind of glorified it and glamorized it. So I wanted to play the other side of that and go, this is what can happen, and have those conversations. And so I was always happy to kind of chat from the perspective of the character and have conversations with them and see what's their mind thinking about, what's ticking for them. And you never know how many people you're inspiring doing that type of work.
Yeah. Do you have a story from one of those days when you were working in that you felt left you really feeling inspired and so grateful that you did take that opportunity? Yeah,
I remember I did this show. I won't say what the show was because they might get mad at me. But I did this show where we was touring PRUs, which are pupil referral units. So for people that don't know, it's basically like a halfway stage of you are too bad for school, but we don't want you to go to prison. So we're going to put you in this unit. And I remember I started the show. I mean, most of them are young boys, all different races and stuff. And we started the show. Two of them got brought in late by whoever their teacher was, their staff member was. And one of them was like, what is this SH? Yeah. Right? And I'm like, nah, okay, cool. You think this is dead, yeah? All right, let's go. So he kind of gave me the energy of what you're doing is rubbish. I'm going to push you now. So I was like, okay, cool. You think it's rubbish? Badded it up. And then afterwards, he was the last one there chatting to me.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
That's amazing.
But yeah, he was the last one there. And it's just that energy. He may not want to be an actor. Yeah. He may not have gone, yeah, this is what I want to do. But just that theatre can transform people, can just get them to think in a different way. Yeah. That was really rewarding, that he came in, he was not on it, and then he was the last one chatting.
Wow. And do you find then it is that more rewarding experience with theatre, or do you think with TV as well you have equally the same?
I think equally the same. You know, obviously with TV and film, screen work, it's a wider reach. Yeah. So I think you get more from strangers, you know, or I say strangers, people that you're not getting that face-to-face contact. You're getting people just DMing you, like doing children's television and doing stuff like JoJo Gran Gran and Justin's House. I get DMs from parents like just going, look what you've done for my child. And it's like, like sometimes it's just they weren't sitting down to eat, but I've put you on the TV and they just sent me a video of their child just watching, and I feel like it's so personal because you've like sent me a video of your child eating in the house, but for them you are personal to them. You're in their home every day. Like actually you come and visit them. They don't go to see you. Yeah. Whereas in theatre, I think the response you get is so instant, and I love that kind of just visceral energy that you can just feel it, and then people chatting to you afterwards is just, it's something else. They're both as rewarding, just it's a different type of connection, you know?
And then with the process for it, when you're prepping for your characters for stage and for film, how does that change and how does that alter? Because I guess with theatre, it's that thing of, okay, I know I'm about to go on in 30 minutes. Like, whereas TV, it's like, okay, let's do the scene and then let's change.
Theatre is about the process and the time that you don't always get with TV. TV sometimes is like when I was doing Justin's House, we're shooting 2 episodes in 4 days and 2 days of technical rehearsals, and then you have exec run and then you're shooting. So you've got to know your character, you know, and things will change all the time on set. There might be rewrites. Whereas theatre, you've got that 4 to 6 week process where you're deep diving into the character, looking at layers, interrogating the text. So actually the 45 minutes to an hour before I go on to perform, it's about me reconnecting with all the work I've done and remembering that. So there's that physical side of, like, I will always do a big physical warm-up. When we were doing Shifters, Heather, who played Des, she would always be like, Ash, man, like every day I'm like running. I run through the whole aisles of the theatre. I'm doing lunges, I'm doing press-ups. I need to be physically ready, and then I work on the mind. So I'm very much like a filter system. I'll go like out and go all the way into the body and voice. TV, I think, is about being in a place where at any time you have to deliver. Because you can go, okay, we're ready to go, we're turning around. And okay, wait, cut, sorry, that's in the wrong place, we've got to move it. And then it's like, oh, damn, I've got to get to that place. So when I did a guest lead role for Doctors, and there was a scene where I had to tell my wife that I cheated on her with her sister. My character. My character had cheated on his wife with her sister. And we had to find our way of doing that. So myself and the actress, we both had a song that we both used that we didn't know. We just had those in our ears, our buds in, while they were setting up and turning around. And we're just thinking certain things and stuff and putting yourself in that state. And then when you're about to shoot, just take it off and go in. So you're in that emotional state. And it's about being responsible for what you have to deliver. Don't be worrying about light, sound. That's everyone else's department. And I've got to deliver, because when they're ready, I've got to hit it. You know what I mean? So that's for me, that's a different process of that. You have time in theatre to reconnect with the work you've done. With TV and screen, I find that you have to hold yourself in that moment, find a way to hold yourself in that moment until everyone's ready, and then you can land. But everyone's different, but that's how I found it.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that with TV, actors are the very bottom of the chain. Do you feel like that, or has your experience been different?
It depends. I understand people say that. I wouldn't say, I think commercials, like the product is the star. Like, just everyone get over it. The product is the star, and that is what it is. Whatever advert you're doing, I've done a few commercials, and the product is the star, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm good. I'll turn up, do what I got to do, and chill. With TV, I don't feel like I've necessarily felt that when it comes to being on set. The jobs I've done for TV, I've always felt very well looked after, just from the sense of having your own dressing room, having our own space, giving you really good schedules, looking at what you need. Again, like there's some projects I've done for BBC where I've said, look, can I come up to Manchester a day later just because I've got stuff going on with the family? And they've been really cool with it. So I don't necessarily think you're the bottom of it. I think what they expect is that you have more time than everyone else on certain shows. On certain shows I've done, you have more time than everyone else. So the camera crew can only do a tech run once you know what you're doing. The sound and lights can only do their run once you know what you're doing. So I think by that point, when you get to the day of shooting and you might hear, we've got to go again for sound, or hair and makeup needs something, or wardrobe needs something, people are like, well, what I need? Well, they're not going to know you need what you need unless you say, because they're assuming we've spent a few days or a week, however long in rehearsals, getting yourself ready to what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. And sometimes I just think, like, go over it. Like, we're all part of a machine, innit? We just got to make it work, yeah. But that's probably because I got more experience. I'm a bit older now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, when in my 20s, I probably would be like, yeah, man, these men don't rate me. It'd be very different.
I wanted to circle back to Shifters.
Yeah.
Because Shifters is genuinely one of my favourite plays that I've ever watched. I thought it was beautiful. What was your biggest takeaway from doing that show?
That's a really, really tough question. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing that whole job. It was the first time I ever understudied. Mm-hmm. And I was very much like, I'm never understudying. And my agent said, look, I know it's an understudy role, but look at this. Looked at the script. I was like, damn. Yeah. I really, really like this script. And then I saw, I was like, oh snap, it's Tosin. And Tosin's a good friend of mine.
Oh wow.
So I was like, which is really nice. Yeah. It's really nice, and I'll talk about that a bit more, but it's really nice to understudy someone who's a friend or someone you really like. And so, anyway, I went through the process. But my biggest takeaway from Shifters was, one, you can make shows that are culturally specific and still universally appealing. Mm-hmm. Every night sold out in that West End run. Yeah. Just to play two actors. What I took away from me personally is that I love characters that are layered, are complex, and even though you're playing a character who is black, they just happen to be black. This story could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's not focused around.
Yeah, it's not like this is black work. It's just, this is a story about two people who happen to be black. Yeah. Love that. And I had written down some advice, actually. Mm-hmm. So I loved the fact that my takeaway was that he has so much range and layers, Dre. And understudying, for me, I really learned that you've got to be a super sub. Like, be ready to come off that bench and score that goal to win that game. But the other thing is, really like the script, and whatever you're doing, commit fully to it, to the process. The process is so important. Yeah. And as much as we love performing, the process is what I took away from Shifters, really. The process of what it did for me as an artist, as an actor. I had an 8-year hiatus from doing theatre. I hadn't done theatre for 8 years. Yes, I'm not doing it. I'm focusing on screen. I'm just going to do film and TV, and came back, and that project was just perfect for me. And it was a great team. The joy of everyone in every department, man. Everyone got on. There was no drama. Except for what you saw on stage. I was gonna say,
the acting.
Yeah, the acting was the drama, which was lovely. Yeah, I mean, it's so hot. I'm trying to stop talking about Shifters, but there was just so much about it that was beautiful and gorgeous. Having a great scene partner, being able to get up and do it. I got to perform it as well, which was great. And just to do an hour 40, just like you and someone else, not coming off stage, loved it.
Yeah, it was such a beautiful show. Like, I think about it to this day. It was amazing.
It needs to come back, man.
It does. So I watched it at the Bush.
Oh, so you never saw it away. Oh, so you saw the thing, the real thing.
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah. So close. I loved it. I was literally on the front row and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel it. I feel like that's the best thing about theatre, when you leave and you're telling everyone about it. I was like to my friends, when this gets transferred, and it did get transferred. Yeah. I was like, go and watch it. It was insane. Oh yeah,
an incredible show, an incredible story. And I really hope it's gonna come back. It is. I know Ben A, the writer, is doing some more stuff on it and developing it in a different way as well. Mm-hmm. But I really think that show needs to come back, man. Yeah.
I'm really interested to know more about the process of being an understudy, because as you said, it's very different from just going on and being the actor, because you have to just be on call. How does it work? So if someone's ill, do they just call you and they're like, you have to be on tonight?
Yeah. So you're obviously in the building every day. Or every day there's a show. So for example, it was just one understudy for each role, because there's only 2 people. So I'm covering Tosin. Also, I'll say on a side note, if you're ever going to understudy someone, make sure you respect that actor and respect their craft. Okay. I think it keeps it a very clean space. Like, I've seen Tosin from coming up from young. He's seen me coming up. We're similar ages, and we both respect each other. Yeah. So there's a lovely process that we had where we was able to talk about the character and exchange ideas, which was lovely. But being an understudy, you got to be in rehearsals, but you may not necessarily always be getting up. So take your notes. I very much know that as an actor, whether you're an understudy or a lead or an ensemble, a lot of the work happens outside of the room. The character work you're doing, the line learning. If you're not someone who can learn in a space, which I can learn in a space, but I won't get up. So I'm like, okay, right. So every day I would go home and run at home what had been done in the room. So then put myself up. And I remember there was one day, like 2.5 weeks into rehearsals, and Tosin was doing an interview. And so then Lynette wanted to look at something. She was like, oh, Ashley, can you just step in and run this scene with Heather? I was like, yeah, cool. And then there's producers in the room and stuff. And I just bad it. I just kill it. And everyone's like, holy crap. Like this guy, I just thought this guy was just sitting down, was an understudy. And I always said I wanted to be ready by previews, because they were saying, oh, you don't have to be ready till press night. I said, listen, anything can happen. Yeah. So as an understudy, just see it as your job is, one, to be ready. Don't get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And 2, you are the insurance policy. And if anyone has an accident, like a delay on a flight or a car accident, they're calling the insurance straight away. They're not waiting for the insurance to be like, oh yeah, give me 2 weeks to get this ready. Yeah. They want to know, I'm sending you a courtesy car now, or I'm refunding your flight. That is what you are. You're the insurance policy. So make sure you're tight. And also, like from that, people were still seeing the work you're doing. Yeah. Like from that, I got calls to go and do auditions for stuff. Wow. And can I actually have a meeting for this? Or would you like to do that? Because people were talking about this guy. They're talking about us. And the energy for me and Charity, who understudied Des, people were just like, I can't believe our understudies are so on it. You know, and when people saw the run, it was just, a lot of people who saw the run was like, man, I feel like I just saw the show. Yeah. Which was great. Yeah. Because you just deliver it in that way. That's why I say like the script, commit fully, and respect the person you're understudying. Don't be like, oh, I'm better. Leave that energy. Yeah. It's not about that.
And what is it specifically about that relationship with the person that you're understudying? Because obviously you said you knew Tosin, you grew up.
Yeah.
Why do you think that that's so important?
I think it's important because we saw each other coming up on the scene. You know what I mean? And at the time he was doing like a lot of his early TV stuff. I was in a lot of the comedy scene. So then you respect people's graft. So I know you've been grafting. He knows I've been out here grafting. But also we have a dialogue where I can just go and chill with him and be like, bro, I'm really struggling about breaking this bit down, because he's done the show at the Bush as well. Yeah. So we had no ego between us because we both respect each other. Mm-hmm. We both know that actually we've got a job to do and we can collaborate and get a better result. Yeah. And that's dope. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's important. Whereas if I've heard, I've not experienced it, but I've heard, as I said, that's my only experience understudying. And it also makes me not want to understudy again because I had such a nice experience.
Yeah, you don't want it to get
I'm like, no, I'm all right, you know. But I've heard friends who have said, yeah, this person hasn't spoken to me. I'm understudying their role. I've tried to speak to them about stuff. They're not speaking to me. Yeah. And it's like, you're not thinking about the greater purpose here. The greater purpose here is making the best show possible, 100%. Regardless. It's not, oh, if I'm the lead and I'm not on, I don't want that person to do well. That don't make no sense, man. Like Tosin and Heather came to watch the dress run, and the understudy run, sorry, and they loved it. Yeah. Man, they had a great time. They were just like, oh my gosh, they never got to see shifters. Yeah, they had never seen shifters. So for them, like me and Charity are their first experience of seeing shifters, and they got to see that story played out in front of them. Yeah. You know, so yeah, I just think really with the actor you're always working with, it's still a collaborative process. It's just we're not scene partners. You know what I mean? We're scene sharers. So we're going to build this together. And it's a great way to approach it.
Yeah, I really love that. I'd love to now talk about JoJo and Gran Gran.
Yep, JoJo and Gran Gran.
What has that been like? Because I know the reception of that has been incredible.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy wild. So really quickly, how it started for me was a friend put something on social media saying, I'm looking for stories of people that have got grandparents of St. Lucian heritage. I was like, oh, I'm St. Lucian. What do you need? And then she was like, oh, there's a show they're developing. I need some writing ideas. I was like, cool. Well, listen, when that show happened, let me know innit about audition. She went, I'm a writer. Like, I can't really do anything about that, but I'll let you know if I can. I was like, cool. Gave her all the ideas. And then about 6 months later, she was like, yo, Ash, out of nowhere, just WhatsApp me. It's happening. I can't get you an audition, but here's the info. Tell your agent. So I got onto my agent. I was like, you better look for this. Yeah. I had never done voiceover acting before as well. Yeah. So I was just like, please look for it. Tell them I'm St. Lucian. Auditioned, got the job. And, oh, man, I knew it was something special. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how iconic this show was going to become. Yeah. It's the show everyone wants to talk to me about, like, all the time. It's the first Black British animated series, a St. Lucian family. It's won multiple awards. It was my first writing award as well. It opened so much doors for me, JoJo and Gran Gran. JoJo and Gran Gran changed my career, like in so many different ways. As a writer, as an actor, as a presenter. I got so many more opportunities from it. But yeah, it was a joy, man. I actually got cast as 2 characters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is a good story, actually. So I got cast as Jared, who people obviously know, and then Pete, the shopkeeper. And so Pete was this guy who was like, "Oh, JoJo Gran Gran, how you doing?" He's proper, like East London, an older guy. And they were really loving Jared. And one day I was in the booth, I was just going over my Pete lines, but my Jared voice is my voice. Because they were like, "Jared's cool, young and urban." I was like, "That's me. I'm cool and young. Immortalize my voice, bruv." So then they said, "Could you try these lines as Jared?" Because they really wanted to get Jared into the series more. And so then one day I got an email from my agent saying, "Yeah, hey Ashley, just so you know, they've cut Pete because they want to make Jared bigger." And I was like, "No, I'm an actor. I can be versatile. Yeah." And then when it hit and landed, and how much children love Jared, oh my gosh, people just want me to say, "Hey JoJo Gran Gran." They just love it. And yeah, it's just a beautiful show, man. And I've written so many things for that as well that's been come from my family like experiences. So like I wrote a barbecue episode which was about like my family barbecues. I got to write the St. Lucia special, which I won the Royal Television Society Award for. It's been incredible, man. It's just I love that show.
Like there's something about a cartoon that keeps everything, as you said, immortalized. It's a legacy. People will watch that for generations. Generations. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's more of a pressure with that? 'Cause you're like, oh, this is going to be watched like 20 years.
No, do you know what? It was the most enjoyable thing I ever did. Yeah. I used to just get in the booth and have fun. Yeah. From my first session, they were like, "Ashley, do you want to sit or stand?" I was like, no, I'm going to stand. And I would just perform it like there was an audience there. So it'd be physicalized, everything was happening. Yeah. They used to send my tapes off, which is why if anyone goes and looks at Jared, he looks like me. So the animation changed. Yeah, changed. I talking about me, because people call me and they're like, "Why are you the only person who looks like your character?" I was like, "It wasn't me. There was no secret contract. It just happened." So no, I don't feel any pressure about it. I think we made a beautiful show. Everyone loved that show. Anyone I met who was working on that show, there was just so much love and heart for it. And so for me, I want to do more. That's what I really want. I want to do more of JoJo and Gran Gran. You know, that was some of the best 5 years of my life, man.
And do you think more voiceover acting then? Do you want to get more into
Yeah, I mean, because of that, I have done more now. So I've done games for Lego. I've done games for DC. I do a book called Future Hero, which is incredible, which is from Story Mix, big them up. And it's a whole story about this young boy from South London who finds out he's a descendant of a leader in another world. Like it's a kind of Wakanda kind of world. Nice. So he goes over there, he goes to this barber shop and they transport him through, like they do like a pattern in his hair. And I get to narrate the whole book. I get to do all the voices. So there's 4 books that I've done. So yeah, I want to do more voiceover work. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy doing voiceover work.
That's really cool. Would you then, as an advice thing, would you encourage people in the creative arts to try and put their hands into different pots and do as much? So I know some people say, well, no, actually, if you know you're an actor, focus on that and hone your craft in that. And some people are like, no, try everything. What do you think?
I think, yes, like hone your craft, but also do try stuff, because what you think your craft is may not end up being what your craft is. Yeah. So you may feel like, I'm an actor because that might have been the only option at school. Mm-hmm. But you might go, oh, hold on, I just want to go on a lighting course to understand lighting more. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I want to be a lighting designer, or I want to direct. So I would definitely say try all these things. Me writing and acting, like being a writer makes me a better actor. Being an actor makes me a better writer, because I think about things from both perspectives. I think, what does a writer need? I went to the animation studio while I was doing JoJo and Gran Gran, and I saw the hours of work they put in for stuff. So then writing for cartoons with an head of like going, okay, this is what the animators need. Yeah. So even if you try something and you don't end up doing it, it's going to make your skill better, because you're going to have an awareness of the other roles within your industry. Definitely. You know?
And my last question, Ashley, is, I know I've spoken a lot about advice for this, but this is our main thing of the podcast. We love to just encourage people. Mm-hmm. What piece of advice have you taken that somebody else has given you that you think will inspire the next generation of people trying to be creatives?
Yeah, two people that I think of. One of my good friends, Orin, aka Oreo, who's an incredible music producer and artist. He said one time he's about to do a show, and he said, "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present." Yeah. And I would say that to everyone. Don't try and be perfect in this industry. Just be present in what you're doing. Be kind to yourself. It's tough. It's tough. It's so tough. And this generation is like everything happens instantly. Yeah. And so you want it overnight. Overnight successes are 15, 20 years in the making. And the last thing I'd say, my auntie Jo Melville, who is no longer here, and I'm so sad she's not here anymore. I don't want to cry. She said to me, and I remember her saying to me several times, but I remember the last time she said it to me, she held my hands, she looked in my eyes. She's an incredible actor, director, producer, everything she'd do. And she said, "Baby, feel the fear and just do it anyway." And I think we're so afraid of, it's got to be right, it's got to be this, I've got to do that we're not even doing stuff. Yeah. Just do it. Just try it. It's okay if it's a bit messy. Yeah. Just try it. Just feel the fear and do it anyway. Because where people start to where they end up is part of the journey. So yeah, feel the fear and do it anyway. And don't try and be perfect. Just be present. Be kind to yourself. And never eat yellow snow.
Thank you so much, Ashley. It's been such a pleasure having you on. You've taught me so many things. I'm so excited to continue with my craft. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
No, amazing. And we will see you all next week on Young and Unscripted. Bye.